Hey guys, welcome back. I'm Fuzzy Logic. We have come to the luscious forests to try and get as much biomass as we can so we never have to do it again until we get coal, that is. So hopefully we can get enough today, and I have equipped a chainsaw. Yeah, let's start this thing up. Go. And let's go and tear down some foliage and see what this gives us. Take a tree down and it takes everything else with it in a huge radius. Everything else gets demolished. So I've got nothing in my backpack. Hopefully we're going to fill it up with wood and leaves. There might not be much of a forest left after this. Demolishing trees all day. I am a woodcutter, woodcutter. And then once we have got all of this biomass, we're going to send it to BioFuel and then just power all our factories and knock out the next couple of milestones. Okay, so we're full up on leaves and things. Let's go and have a look at what this is over here. I don't think we can get up to it. We don't have any concrete to make a path. We'll mark where it is on the map in relation to our house and come back. I'm looking at it in a minute. It's probably something that we can't do at the moment anyway. But look at our backpack. We've got loads of wood. We've got loads of leaves to send to biomass. I might make a quick biomass biofuel generator to create the stuff, because it's going to take a while to craft it by hand. But I will join you back at the base. Right, let's build out this platform a bit so we can see what we're doing with our sort of base hub area. And then decide where we want to actually put this space elevator. Because it is big, it's one big structure. Oh, now we've got the chainsaw, we can get rid of all of the trees that make our base look awful. Production, constructors. Missing iron rods, reinforced plates even. We'll be making them next, that is next on the list. Okay, so let's put one of these down. If you make biofuel, so you need to make it from leaves or wood. You can't make it from both, which is super annoying. So you do 4 seconds. So you take 150 a minute. Wow. Okay, so let's put our constructor here. And we'll put our storage tank, storage container back here, nice and close. We don't waste too many conveyor belts. We'll just put that into there for now, and then we'll see what we're going to do with it. Let's delete all this on this side. So let's put all of the leaves in here. Okay, so we'll put the biomass burner out here for some power. Rig a power line up and straight in. Give it some fuel. Okay, perfect. So if we were to put another storage tank here and just do exactly the same thing next to it. This definitely seems like a waste of time. Why is that not with the green line? Put that there. This can then contain all of the wood that we've currently got. Some of it's in here. And this will turn it into biomass wood. I'm going to just put a merger on here. This will just import biomass straight into here. We're going to have room. Let's take out the things that we don't need in here. Actually, let's go have a look at what we've got to research. We have got some things that we need to research. We can research flower petals. That might be actually quite nice. Let's do the flower petals now. We need 10 of them. I think that gives us the gun, and we can paint this stuff so everything's not orange and yellow. Right, let's start that going. I'm not sure how many leaves, how many petals it takes for each sort of cartridge. I know you need to load a gun up with paint in effect, and then you sort of paint it onto the wall. Just get rid of things that we don't need in our inventory. Well, we've got 2 miners. Okay, we don't need them. Oh, it doesn't have power. course. Right, so as long as you've got power and a source of wood, you should be able to process it. I think it's better than doing it by hand. Okay, so out of here, let's just put a constructor down. How much biofuel do you make and how quickly do you make it? 60 a minute. You just make biofuel at 60 a minute, so you can have that. And then you just need somewhere to put it, I suppose. Another storage tank. I wish the storage tanks had more than one in. And we'll just connect this up. That's neat enough for what we're doing here. And that should just be biomass, biofuel coming out. You're going straight into there. And there should be enough for that to go forever, really. Because we can't output it quick enough. We just can't output it quick enough. No, input, sorry, you can't input 150 leaves quick enough for it to work. So it's sitting there waiting. Now it starts producing. Is this different? This only takes 5 wood. No, 75 per minute. So this is a little bit off as well. But it produces 375 biomass per minute. We can't. We're outputting at 60. Merging it into another belt that's currently at 60. But this is all the fuel that we're going to need forevermore, I think. It's literally going in as fast as it comes out. I suppose that's right, because we're going in at 60 and we're going out at 60. We almost don't need this container here, but when... I don't know. It's fine, it's fine. Yeah, the storage container is irrelevant here. I'm just going to remove it. I don't think there's any benefit to having it here. I don't think so. Let's put that straight into there. What? That was weird. We'll give it all the stuff that was in the container anyway. It's always going to be 60 coming up this line because we've got so much coming out of the wood and the leaves that we can have more than at least 60 pumping through this line. So there's no point in storing it. We want to convert it straight into biofuel. Okay, lovely. I'm going to collect some plates and then we're going to do the milestones. So the flower petals have been analysed and the analysis is now complete. What do we get from them? We know, though. But what do we get?
R&D wishes me to tell you these colored petals are useful for 2 things, dating and creating color cartridges. Mandatory reminder that you are under 24/7 surveillance.
Got ya.
The derived blueprint is now accessible in Hub Tier 2.
So we still need to do the blueprint as well for this. The alien carapace, we need 10 of those. What I'm going to do is I'm going to unlock some of these milestones first. So the current one we got is the overclock, so let's do that. Bosh, send that pod. Oh, I almost forgot. Let's add the alien carapace in. Got 23 of these. Let's say we don't need any more for the next level. That's going to take 12 minutes. Okay, perfect. Okay, so let's do this milestone now. This is personal storage.
Milestone reached. Additional storage options have been provided. R&D inflated your pocket dimension and developed a personal storage box accessible in the build menu.
Okay, so conveyor walls are next. Send that ship.
Milestone reached. To ensure optimal use of space, navigation and tidiness, R&D have developed stairs and conveyor walls.
I don't use them that much, but I might use some conveyor walls a bit more. That'll be back in no time. Or should we search for these? Where we put on our berries? 41. Okay, is this completed? Not yet. What I have done is I have doubled up on the biofuel creation. Because there was a bottleneck here with the splitter, with the merger. I wonder why don't we just have two? They can both output a steady line of 60. These take 60 in, so why not just have two biofuel creators? They output at 30 each, so there's 60 at the end. Works out really well, perfect. Plus this now makes double the amount of biofuel that it did before. So now we're crazy big on biofuel. And I think we've got a large amount of stuff still in these. We've still got loads of wood, we've still got loads of leaves. Like thousands. It's never going to stop. And then when we do a next run, hopefully, I mean, as soon as we get coal, we can definitely delete this. Okay, we'll do the pale berry one. This might be instant. No, instant. And then the nuts. We've got some of those. Yep. This will be instant as well. Just to be able to scan for them. Although we do find enough of them not to really need to be able to scan for them. So that's all the tier 1 done. Let's start on tier 2. Maybe we should do jump pads. They are quite useful. They do take a lot of power. Okay, so we start on part assembly next. Let's select that milestone. And we need 300 rods, 300 iron plates, 500 wire and 100 cable. Now I do need to go and turn on the iron production line again because it ran out of fuel, which is why we're doing this. So let's take all of this and go and turn that back on. Let's see if the research has been finished. The analysis of alien carapace is completed. And what does it give us?
R&D has repurposed a common engineering tool to assist you in your defense against the local wildlife. The blueprint is now accessible in Hub Tier 3. Okay,
perfect. Thank you. We don't have Hub Tier 3 available yet. Let's dump all the stuff that we don't want in our backpack, like these carapaces, these healing things, like a random bit of coal. The rest of it, we need to make 100 cable. Alright, there we go. There's 100 cable, 100 of that, 100 of that, 100 of that, and 100 of that. No, 300 of that. 300 of that. Okay, this is part assembly. So this is now the assemblers.
Milestone reached. More complex assembly of parts can now be automated.
Nice. That will return in nearly just under 6 minutes. We'll have a look at building this space elevator next then, and then get these two out of the way. Before we go to the next one, I want to try and get all of the previous tier things done before we do that. But we can have a look. I'll show you how big this thing is and then where we want to put it. Oh, we've got loads of new walls. I wish I had more walls though. I really do. This is the space elevator and it is a big thing. Let's put it to-do list so we know how much we need. We need 500 concrete. Put some concrete on one of these. We'd have enough concrete there. 400 iron rod, 250 iron plate. 1,500 wire. So all we need is some iron rod and some concrete so we can build this. Okay, well, I've got the iron rods just sitting there waiting. But where do we want to build it? That's the question. Well, we could just build it around here. I mean, it's literally nothing else is going to get built on this particular piece of land. I wonder if that's big enough just to begin with. It's potentially big enough, to be fair. Let's get rid of this then, and then fill this in. With it being pure, is so much of it. Alright, well, I didn't want any of that limestone cluttering up my inventory, but now I have it. I was going to see how big it is now. Just can't afford, so we could put it there if we wanted. I might put it further back then. If we can get it further back, that'll be good. Oh, it's coming back. Where are you? Watch it, it's fast. So cool, right? I love that. And then it comes down and docks. So you put your produce in, and it ships it up. It's quite a good little system. I like that. It's nice. And now it allows you to send it up again. So we'll do that in 1 second after we have built this monster, this huge, lovely, wonderful thing here. Bosh. Let's watch this being built. That takes a lot of resources. It's quite interesting how all the resources fly up towards it. It's quite novel. Yeah, this is the anchor for the elevator, which should be dropped from space. Now it's being built. Hook onto it, and then that's what we're going to use to send more stuff up. Instead of this little ship that goes up, we're going to use this to send more stuff up. Okay, here it comes. And it locks into place, hooks on, and now it's connected to space. Okay, nice. Perfect. And the good thing about this thing is, no matter where we go on the map, we can always see it, because it just reaches forever. It goes into infinity. So we can always find home just by looking where we need to be. Right, let's have a look at what this control panel asks us to do. Look at the size of this thing, man. So this needs 75 reinforced iron plates and 50 rotors. We don't know how to make rotors just yet, but we need to get the new tiers. This should have unlocked more stuff in here as well. Let's go and see what this has unlocked in here. Complete space elevator. We still need to do phase 1 of space elevator. Okay. So let's do color gun. Let's get this colour out of the way. Okay, just fill these iron plates in. Some more cable. There's the colour gun. Okay, that'll return in about 2 minutes. And then we'll do both new equipment, new parts. Thank you. And then we'll do the jump pads and the walkways next. And then start looking into doing the first one of this, which is reinforced iron plates and rotors. Let's have a look how we make those. So reinforced iron plates is 4 iron plates and 24 screws. We can make the colour cartridge now. And the rotors, we can actually make them, 3 iron rods and 22 screws. So just a lot of iron. Okay, so the next milestone I think we're going to do is the jump pads. So we can fill that in with all the stuff that we've got. We need 200 of those. Let's launch this one. Boom. Jump pads, this will be 4 minutes.
Buildings aimed at factory traversal, including several different categories of jump pads, can now be accessed in the build menu.
Oh, lovely.
Caution is recommended during use of these products.
Alright, let's finish off the all the milestones that we can do. Let's finish off the walkways milestone to give us the walkways. Can we make it? There it is. Let's have a look at it as it jumps off into space.
Milestone reached. After medical consultation, additional buildings aimed at factory traversal have been added. Walkways can now be accessed in the build menu.
Bye, little fella. And now we have walkways available to us, which is going to be really nice. A nice way to add platforms, having to build walls and these silly big base blocks. But that's going to do it for this episode. We have researched all of Tier 0, all of Tier 1, and all of Tier 2. We're now going to start work on this monstrosity, the space elevator. So we'll be starting to look at automating reinforced iron plates and rotors. That'll be the next episode. So I hope you've really enjoyed this episode and come back for the next one. I'll see you later. Bye.